Hey guys, welcome back. We're gonna be counting down the next film in my top 30 favorite movies of all time. My name is CEO of Random, and this is my brand new series where I'm basically discussing why a movie is my favorite and what makes it worth it to be in the top 30 films of all time for me personally. Obviously, this is a subjective list; it's not objective. Um, but I think that personally, my picks are kind of fascinating, and I like to talk about them and how they moved me and changed my outlook on just film in general. Last week, we talked about Prisoners. Now, Prisoners, I'm not going to beat a dead horse, so to speak. But I kind of really explained why I love Prisoners as much as I did. It's incredibly disturbing, very bleak, but a just fantastic drama, all around. Um, so that's why moving into my 29th favorite film of all time, we're going to be talking about Shame from 2011, directed by Steve McQueen, starring Michael Fassbender and Carey Mulligan in the main roles. Um, I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I can talk too much about this film. It's incredibly explicit film. Why it's rated NC-17, and that is one of the main reasons why there's not too much talking like videos on YouTube about it. Commentary, things like that. So I'm gonna be very touchy today and try to I guess talk about the film in a way that makes it YouTube friendly. Unfortunately, I have there's no way I'm gonna get ad revenue for anything because I don't have enough subscribers. But I don't want to kind of kill my channel before it even starts. If that makes sense, especially for a film like Shame. Even though I love Shame as a film, it's just not really smart to talk about it really that much. Um, Shame is a fascinating film. It's a film that kind of it didn't go under the radar, but Michael Fassbender should have gotten a Oscar nomination for the movie. He just everything that he does in the film is just it's unreal. I mean, you're just kind of watching this man unfold before your very eyes. He's just kind of knee deep in the throes of addiction. And it's rated NC-17, so I'm sure that many people can guess what that addiction is. And it's extremely difficult watch. It's so strong and heavy-handed. It kind of when I first watched it, it kind of smacked me in the face. I couldn't really understand why it was as heavy-handed as it was, but how it worked. I watched a lot of heavy-handed movies, but sometimes, or in 90% of them, heavy-handedness becomes extremely annoying and makes the film hard to watch, hard to swallow, hard to get into, etc., etc., etc. Um, but for whatever reason, something about Shame just really just grabbed me when I first started watching the film. And I think it's because just the way that it's tackled, it does not play around. The film, it starts and it just goes 100 miles an hour the whole movie. It never stops. It just keeps going and going and going and going and showcasing just the damage of this man. And you're basically just watching him kind of implode. He becomes isolated, he gets caught, he has, party har har, shame, right? And all you want to do is just keep watching. It's not watching a train wreck, it's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You can't take your eyes off of it. And you don't understand how they got in that scenario, but it's just so many different things and dominoes falling, right? And it just becomes this amalgamation of just pain and guilt and disgust, And I wasn't expecting the film to do that. I bought the film from a used DVD store that's near me, and I'm a regular customer there. And I remember seeing Shame in it was the Blu-ray, and I got it for under $10. It was flawless, and I've always heard about it, right? And like I've always heard about the controversy surrounding it, and I'm like, you know what? This is gonna be a good movie, whatever, but it's not gonna grip me. And then like I watched it and I couldn't stop watching it because it's just so just full of emotion and just everything. It's just unreal. And I keep saying like Michael Fassbender and how he's great and amazing, and I think personally, I think he should have been nominated. I'm usually really good with the Oscars, but I don't remember who won Best Actor in 2011. I can look it up real quick. I think it was it hold on one second. Oh, it was Colin Firth. Okay. I mean, yeah, The King's Speech. I haven't personally seen it, so I'm not gonna act like I have an opinion on it. Um, but like I've heard many people saying that The King's Speech is not a very engaging film. I feel like Shame is a very engaging film. It's a film that I don't recommend to anybody because of its strong content. It's extremely explicit, and if anybody has had addiction issues in the past, it's gonna really like strike home. And it's just unreal. But I think that he should have been nominated for Best Actor at least. Carey Mulligan was also a powerhouse. She was so like tone switching in this movie that it was like difficult to watch, but also like the dynamic between the two is kind of unreal. And it's this weird tension, and I think that's also serves as another point of the movie why it's just kind of disgusting. Like it's just there's a lot. There's a lot going on. And but I think that the way that Steve McQueen tackles it is with this grace. It's like this grace and this like just swirling cyclone of a film. And you can't forget there's like a scene at the end. It's like extremely popular on like social media, like Instagram and TikTok and whatever. And it usually has like, this like soft violin orchestral music like playing over it. And it's like just him like crying in the rain. It's not a spoiler, by the way. It's just like it couldn't be a spoiler if it tried, you know what I mean? But he's just like crying in the rain. And that scene alone is like one of the best scenes I've ever watched in my life. That and some other like scenes where the color grading and like just the build up and everything is just unreal. But I think the film serves a lot. I think it showcases a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. And I think that is why it struck a chord with me, because not just because like it's like one of the best movies I've ever seen. It's amazing. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10, right? And I went in with zero expectations basically and came out with one of my favorite films ever, right? I mean, anybody would want that. But I think the fact that it really like examines this addiction issue so heavy-handed and so like uncompromisingly that you can't just help but feel like almost like secondhand embarrassment, number one, and number two, like his pain. Like he's extremely unlikable. He's not a great character at all. He's not a great person. Neither is Carey Mulligan, right? But you can't help but feel bad for them. You're like, man, like how did they get themselves in this situation, and like where they're like this to each other, where they're like this to others, where she's like a leech, he's a user, he's a manipulator, she takes things to extreme, she's too emotional, he's too emotionless. It's just like they play this like really good back and forth, and it's like beautiful to watch. Regardless of that, I mean, I don't really have much more to say. It's one of those films where you kind of just got to watch it yourself to believe it. It's not a movie I want to describe anymore, any more than I have. Not because of the content, but because there's just a lot. But I'm not going to say I recommend it, but it's one of my favorite films ever. And I think that everybody that really appreciates film and like is not afraid of like extremity in film. I think that they should take a gander and just fall into the film, leave your like leave like your proclivities at the door type thing, like oh my gosh, it has this content, blah blah blah, I can't watch it. I think, but it doesn't glorify it, and I think that's why it's worth a watch. It's not, it's extreme, it's disturbing, it's weird, it's all the above, but it's worth a watch because there's just so much to gain from it. But yep. So that's my 29th favorite film of all time. Shame, 2011, directed by Steve McQueen. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to try to do these a little more frequent than every week. What happened was my drive that I used to record my videos on our creators, it kind of went kaput for whatever reason, and I was spending the week trying to figure that out, which was a lot. So I'm gonna try to like put these out more regularly, and it's just fascinating for me because this is like a series where like these movies for me are like finally being set in stone somewhere. Like it's one thing to have like a list, right, that I can shift around, but it's another thing to have like, whoa, like this is my 30th favorite film, this is my 29th favorite film at this point in time, how I was feeling then. It's just really fun, and I hope you guys enjoy are enjoying the journey as much as I am. So in a couple days, I hope to make another video regarding my 28th favorite film of all time. And obviously, just like last time, I'm not going to say what it is. My list, if anybody ever finds my letterboxd, is locked, so there's no way to see like what my favorite film will be next. So I hope that you guys enjoy when that surprise comes in the title, obviously, of the video. And hope you guys have a great day. Peace.